Rock and Roll Geek Show 750.
Still rocking after all these years.
This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
This is it, the show that started it all. Often imitated, but never equal. From San Francisco, USA. Online since 2004. It's the one and only Rock and Roll Geek Show. With the original Rock and Roll Geek, Michael Butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name is Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Saturday, December 17th, 2016, when I'm recording the show, and it's 7:42 p.m., and I just opened a fine Tecate. Let me take a sip of this fine Tecate. This is second Tecate of the day, and probably my seventh beer of the day. I had lunch with Chiaki and Brian, my son or my stepson, and we went to a Korean restaurant, had a bunch of hiked beers and some really good Korean barbecue. And Chiaki showed up with a present for me. He brought me, he apparently, the crying about losing my wetsuit works. Chiaki showed up with a brand spanking new wetsuit for his friend Michael Butler. So thank you very much, Chiaki. So we had lunch. Chiaki gave me a nice wetsuit, which I'm going out tomorrow to drop the kayak in the water and try to catch some more crab. I'll talk. Somebody told me, here's an email. An email from a guy. I don't know. Should I not talk about fishing? I don't know. He goes, this is a guy named Mike Bridger. He says, Butler, you're a tool. I want to hear the new Metallica album. Not a track by, because I guess he tuned in when I was doing the track by track of the new Metallica album. He goes, Butler, you're a tool. I want to hear the new album, and you waffle on about fishing trip and then talk all through the review. Finish yourself. So I guess I better not talk about jumping in the kayak and going fishing and crabbing tomorrow. But Chiaki gave me a brand new wetsuit because I lost my wetsuit. So there you go. Thank you, Chiaki. All right, well, it's another sip of this fine Tecate. Let's start off with some music, okay? So this is brand new Dan Baird. Thank you so much to Chris Stanley for turning me on to this, and thank you to Jerkin Crocus Records for sending me this record. I don't know how it just showed up in my email box. You can listen to the entire album on SoundCloud, and I made a comment I think I was the first one to comment listening to it, and I said how much I like this song that I'm going to play for you. And the next day, I had the new Dan Baird solo album in my in my email box from Jerkin Crocus Records. So thank you, Jerkin Crocus Records. The record is called, coincidentally, Solo, and it is this is according to Dan Baird. Let me see if I can find Dan Baird's notes here. He says, in all honesty, he recorded this, but he wrote these demos when he was writing the Dan Baird Homemade Sin album, Circus Life, and these were all left over. And after he recorded Circus, I will read his thing. The thing started out when Homemade Sin was writing and recording Get Loud. Did I say Circus Life? I meant Get Loud. I got a recording rig and put it in the basement of the house, and as some of you know, got to writing for that record and just started writing for the love of it. By the time we picked the songs for Get Loud, I had some good songs left over, and I just kept on writing. It's been years since I was someone's guitar solo player, and I really liked the challenge back then, a few years ago, since the Bluefields record, so I had the G, I like playing bass too thing hit as well. So basically he played all the instruments on this record except for the drums. That's what he's talking about. So these were leftover songs after he had finished writing the Get Loud record, which is a great record, which I highly recommend. I think it was in my top 10 of the year that it came out. Excuse me. I'm coughing up this fine Tecate. Let me take a sip of this Tecate. Well, the album is not coming out until early 2017. You can pre-order it now on jcplmusic.com. This is the first song. The songs I've heard, I really, really like, and I especially like this one. This song is called. I was gonna say he said this is the closest thing to a concept album. He says, in all honesty, I was writing a record that dealt with me. I was wanting to write a record that dealt with me aging, the passage of time and loss. In other words, all the shit that happens when you forget to die young. A few of the tunes seem to escape this corral, but if you squint just right, they make it under wire. It's not quite a concept record, but it does get close. I hope it's not a trend. And all these songs are about getting older, and this song I like a lot. It is called Cemetery Train from the brand new Dan Baird record, Solo.
Slide.
that tune. If that does not put a smile on your face, I don't know what will, friends. But that's new Dan Baird. I fucking love that. As soon as I heard the song, I just started smiling. The great Dan Baird. That would be in my top 10 of 2016 if it was coming out in 2016. So it'll have to be in my top 10 of 2017 then, unless something comes out that's way better. Which, by the way, I'm gonna be doing my top 10, give or take 5 or 6 songs of 2016 within the next couple weeks. I usually do it around the first of the year, so Christmas is coming this soon, so it'll be coming around soon, friends. And by the way, my birthday is the day before Christmas, December 24th. So what is that, Saturday? Christmas is coming fast, man. Next thing you know, it'll be tax time. Something to look forward to. All right. I would like to thank the most important people of the show, the donors, the people who donate to the show. Without your show, without your show, my donations would die a horrible. All right. Without your donations, my show would die. This show, our show, friends, would die a horrible, putrid, stench-filled death. By the way, the Butlers played last night in the East Bay. It was a great show. And on the way to load gear, a friend of the show named Mark URLOCKER, also known as ZACK URLOCKER. He's a friend of the show. He donates occasionally. And he said he was in town. He had some meetings. He works for, I don't know, a security company or something like that. Or online, I don't know. He's a geek. He's a computer guy, all right. And he was in meetings, and he said he wanted to have a beer with me and give me a CD and shake my hand. And I am always up for having a beer with a friend of the show. So I met him at a place called the Connecticut Yankee. It was on the way to move my gear because Butlers played last night. It was a fun gig last night, too. One of the guys from Tesla came, Dave Rude, the other guitar player from Tesla, came up and played. Michael Shaw played piano. It was a good time. You can see some of the videos on the Facebook, on the R&R Geek Facebook. Anyway, so I met Mark URLOCKER, or ZACK URLOCKER, at the Connecticut Yankee. He bought me a Corona because they didn't have any Tecates. I'm going to take a sip of this fine Tecate. And he gave me his CD. It's a rock opera called Underground Radio. His band is called the Electric Buddha Band. And it came with, oh, by the way, you can actually download this thing for free. It's Creative Commons. You can download it, and it came with a comic book and a lyric sheet about all the songs. Really well put together, really nicely done comic book with good art, and highly recommend this comic book. Really nice packaging. Good packaging on the CD, too. Anyway, he gave me this, and towards the end of the beer, and he goes, oh, and I wanted to give you a little donation, too. Just a little something. And he pulled out a wad of cash out of his shirt pocket. He asked me not to say how much it was, but it was a nice little wad of cash, put it that way. All right, so in honor of Mark URLOCKER and of the people who donate the show, in the background, I'm going to play some of his rock opera called Underground Radio. I'm gonna play some instrumental stuff here. So he got an orchestra to play on this. How cool is that? All right, let me see. He did this whole thing in GarageBand, by the way, except for the orchestra. They recorded it. What's going on? Okay. So there are several ways to donate to the show. You can do like Mark URLOCKER, invite me over for a beer and hand me a big wad of cash. That's a good way to donate. Or you can go to patreon.com/RNRGeek like Ken Kennedy does. And every episode, he gives me $5. Or like Chiaki Hinohara from the Metal Moment podcast and the Japanese Metalhead Show, and my really close friend, Chiaki Hinohara. He donated $5 on the Patreon, and he gave me a fucking wetsuit, which is amazing. Brian Springer for the $5 on Patreon. Dave Slusher, my podcast mentor and co-host of Mad at Dad, and Thanksgiving ruiner puking in his own sink. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to Mad at Dad. MadAtDadPodcast.com/live every Monday night, by the way. Thanks to Betty Wood for the $3 every episode from Patreon. Thanks to Bruce McMillan for the $2 every episode on Patreon. Thanks to Matthew Hunt for the $2. Thanks to, oh, by the way, did it Matthew? Did I think who sent me the Alice Cooper? I think that might be Matthew Hunt. I'm not sure. Thanks to Eric Stoll for the $2. Thanks to Robert Harvey for the $2. Thanks to John Richardson for the $1. And thanks to Corey Kohler for the $1 on Patreon. You can also go to my Amazon wish list like Chiaki did. I had the wetsuit in my wish list. I was hoping I'd get a wetsuit for Christmas too, man. I got it. There are other things in my wish list too, like this book here called The Whole Beast, Nose to Tail Eating, about how to eat every part of the animal. This was sent to me. This was on my, I believe this was on my Amazon wish list. This was sent to me from, let me see what the note here. Where is the note? Michael, I know you're more into sea fishing right now, more than carving roast beefs, but hoping you can make good use of this book. Wishing you the best new year and lots of stiffs in your death pool. Cheers, Eric Conrad, the rock and roll plebe. So that's another way you can donate to the show. You can send me this Ernest Hemingway book, all in the Amazon. Well, actually, the Ernest Hemingway wasn't in the Amazon wish list. So anyway, you can do that, or you can go to PayPal, like all these fine donors did. Michael Street went to PayPal and donated $3. Turn up the, this is an instrumental from, the rock opera is called Underground Radio, and it's about when the concept of this thing is music is illegal, so music has to go underground. All right. Thank you to Michael Street for the $3. Thanks to Deborah Dreyfus, if that's your real name, Deborah Dreyfus. All right. Thanks to Richard Fusey for the $2. Thanks to a new donor, Timothy Shaw, for the $25. He said he finally got enough money to donate, and it's nice to finally give some money to a friend, he says. Thank you, Timothy Shaw. I really appreciate it, friend. Thanks to Richard Strom for the $5. Thanks to Dale Roller for the $5. I need to take another sip of this fine Tecate. I'm running out of steam. Thanks to Andrew Howe for the $5. Thanks to Dale Roller for the $5. Thanks to Jer O'Carroll for the $5. Thanks to Jason Shepard for the $10, who I believe has a request. So I'll play a request for him at the end of the show. Thanks to Kelly Mitchell for the $5. Thanks to Chris Del Grande for the $5. Thank you to Michael Street again. Donated $5. He donates all the time. Thank you to, where am I? Okay. Thank you to John Offenlock for the $5. Thanks to friend of the show and friend of mine, Todd Cunningham, for the $10. Thank you to Lassie Satvighagen for the $2. Thanks to Jeffrey Canaparoli for the $2. Oh, the next song here. Loud and Proud. Thanks to Stephen Mascord for the $5. Thanks to John Skiller for the $2. Thanks to BJ Lisco for the $10. Thanks to friend of the show and friend of mine, Ralph Miller, for the $10. Ralph was at the Butler show last night. It was a very fun show. A lot of people were there, and everybody seemed to like it. A lot of people were singing the songs. We did an Elton John song last night. We pulled that one out of our ass, but it came out pretty good. I'm not a huge Elton John fan myself. I always thought he was I was a little too mainstream for me, but people liked the song Rocket Man, so it went over well. Thank you to Rodney Cross for the $5. Thanks to Brett Garsky for the $5. Thanks to Craig Vasiloff for the $5. Vasiloff for the $5. Thanks to Bradford Page for the $2. Thanks to Chris Stanley for the $10. and for turning me on to the new Dan Baird. Thank you, Chris Stanley. Thank you to School of Podcasting for the $10. Thanks to Michael Street again for $2. Thanks to Michael Mack for the $2. Thanks to John Baveri for the $5. Thanks to Peter Spark for $2. Thanks to Chris Harrison for the $10. Thanks to Jeff Thielke for the $10. Thanks to Paul Fondery for the $10. Thanks to David Ivey for the $5. Thanks to Adrian Bashon, Bosch Rock in the forums, and which are now dead. But it's now moved to the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook page, which I do not run, but I didn't start it, but I do approve people. So if you want to get on that, just send me a request, and either me or somebody else will approve you. Thanks to Michael Street for the $3. Thanks to John Tennis for the $5. Thanks to Dave Franco for the $10. Thanks to Greg Long for the $5. Thanks to Jeff C.A. for the $5. Thanks to Dean Gillespie for the $5. Thanks to James Venners for the $10. Thanks to Eric Lynch for the $5. And again, thank you, Kelly Mitchell, for another $5. Without your donations, this show would die a horrible, putrid, stench-filled death, like music when it's underground and has to go on underground radio from the electric. All right. Thanks again, ZACK URLOCKER, Mark URLOCKER, for the beer and for the water cash and for this nice package. If you would like to get this for free, it's a Creative Commons. You can download the comic book and all the songs on the CD as well. You can go to rock-opera.com. I will put a link in the show notes at rockandrollgeek.com. Thanks again, Mark URLOCKER. I really appreciate it. All right. What am I doing on tonight's show? I don't really have much to do. I have no audio comments, just some music, I guess. I guess I'm going to play music on a Friday night. How about we listen to brand new? I'll get the playlist back going here. This came out. A lyric video of this came out a few weeks ago, and I kind of like this tune. This is new Black Star Riders. I like this better than any of the other Black Star Riders I've heard before. So let's listen to that, shall we? This song is called When the Night. What is it called? When the Night Comes In, from Black Star Riders.
I walk down Broadway in the bitter cold, see my reflection and it makes me feel so old. Boulevard in deep recession, a winter sky in deep depression. Give me back my broken life, give me serenity beyond this strife. Give me absolution from all this trouble, disarray and confusion. This is a call to innocence, this is a call to oneself. When the night comes in, there's a crack in the universe. When the night comes in, there's a crack in the universe. When the night comes in, this is a call to innocence, this is a call to oneself.
All right, this is from Blabbermouth. Sebastian Bach calls Michael Sweet a pussy with a big fucking mouth. Oh, by the way, Sebastian Bach has a new book out called 18 in Life on Skid Row or something like that. It's an audiobook. I heard the audiobook's good. Chiaki has the audiobook, and he says it's good. I actually would like to, I would listen to that. I wouldn't read the book, but I would listen to Sebastian Bach's audiobook. I heard it's good. So I listened to an interview with him on NPR of all things. It wasn't a great interview, but yeah, Sebastian Bach has a book coming out, or it has a book out. And anyway, he this is on Blabbermouth. I'm a little out of sync. Never mind. Something behind the scenes going on with my fucking technical difficulties. Sebastian Bach calls Michael Sweet a pussy with a big fucking mouth. So apparently what happened, Michael Sweet is the guy from Stryper, the singer for Stryper, and this girl who was on tour with Stryper, she apparently sang "I Remember You" or one of the Skid Row songs. I think that was the song. I don't know. And yeah, it was "I Remember You," and he wrote, Mariah Formica kills this, and in my humble opinion, smokes the original singer. After a user posted a screenshot of Sweet's post and included the message, Michael Sweet posts video to Facebook of a 15-year-old girl singing "I Remember You," calls Sebastian Bach a tool in the process. The former Skid Row vocals, Sebastian Bach, fires back, writing in a tweet, "Michael Sweet has a big fucking mouth. Behind a keyboard, that is. I can't wait to see this pussy again." Oh, I can't read, man. I can't wait to see this pussy in person again someday. So apparently, Sebastian Bach wants to kick Michael Sweet's ass. And a couple of years ago, Michael Sweet claimed he was asked to produce a Sebastian Bach solo album, and Michael Sweet and Sebastian couldn't make up his mind. So anyway, they got into apparently these two guys don't like each other. And then after Sebastian Bach calls Michael Sweet a pussy, which I could care less about Sebastian Bach or Stryper, to be honest with you, but the dirt's a little bit funny. So after he did that, Michael Sweet, they probably talked about this on Eddie Trunk, so I'm probably behind the times. I have not listened to Eddie Trunk lately, so if you heard this on Eddie Trunk, I apologize. I'm not copying Eddie Trunk, but maybe I am. This is probably, as a matter of fact, he probably said this to Eddie Trunk. Michael Sweet says, "Well, since it's been turned into a public bash, here's my side. A while back, I was asked by the label Frontiers Music to produce a Sebastian Bach album. Reading with Butler. I can't fucking read, man. I spoke to Sebastian's manager, and we were discussing possibilities. After a few emails back and forth, Sebastian decided to do something else," which I'm interjecting here. It's his prerogative. He didn't want Michael Sweet to produce his record. He didn't have to. I was then asked about this in an interview with Eddie Trunk. Oh, there you go. And I shared respectfully what had transpired. Later that evening, Sebastian tweeted and emailed me and said, "Shut your mouth or I'll shut it for you." Maybe Eddie Trunk put the tweet out. Maybe that person who tweeted after a Twitter user posted a screenshot of Sweet's post. Maybe that was, did I just say screenshot? I probably did. After that user posted a screenshot, maybe the screenshot was posted by Eddie Trunk's producer. Who knows? Anyway, when I was asked about this in an interview with Eddie Trunk, I shared respectfully what had transpired. Later that evening, Sebastian tweeted and emailed me. He said, "Shut your mouth or I'll shut it for you." He also said not to ever let his name come out of my mouth again in an email. I emailed him to make amends and explain, yet to no avail. I'd be a liar if I said it didn't bother me. It did. I got nothing against Sebastian. I don't even know him, and he doesn't even know me. I love Twitter wars, especially between two metal guys. Fast forward to Mariah Formica opening for Stryper and blowing everybody's mind with her talent and voice on a cover of "I Remember You." I posted it and took a little grief for saying she smokes the original singer. I must admit that comment was made based on my opinion as well as my experience with Sebastian. All right, so he had a little bit of bad blood because he was a little bit hurt that he wasn't going to get to produce the new Sebastian Bach record, which have I heard the new Sebastian? I guess I'm going to refrain from my joke because I haven't really heard the new Sebastian Bach record or latest. Maybe I have, but I don't think I loved it. Anyway, I don't want Sebastian Bach to come kick my ass, so I'm keeping it shut. Casey came in and did the show once. He had Sebastian Bach's phone number. We called his cell phone. All right, enough of that. All right, where am I here in this blabbermouth post? He sent me, okay, I admit that comment was made based on my opinion as well as my experience with Sebastian. I then commented on the post and referred to Sebastian as a tool based on what had transpired between us a few months back. I suppose I shouldn't have said that. I'll admit to my mistakes and apologize if need be. Yeah, he's not a tool just because he didn't want you to produce his record. I mean, he could be a tool based on other things, but not for that reason. He sent me an email again, basically stating to be prepared next time we meet face to face, along with a few other nice gestures. Hey, Michael Sweet, next time you and I see face to face, you better be prepared, motherfucker. Sebastian's coming for you. All right. I sent him an email basically saying, let's get along and move on. I have yet to hear back from Sebastian. Anyone who knows me knows that I express my opinion, and I'm more than willing to back it up. I'll do my best to be honest, yet not be mean-spirited or destructive. I'm also no pussy. Obviously, Sebastian doesn't know me, because if he did, he'd know that as a fact. I think he just said that if Sebastian wants to fight him, he's going to stand up for himself. Since we're both adults, should we not take the higher road here? In a perfect world, that would be the right thing to do. Unfortunately, I think because I'm a Christian, some people think I'm supposed to turn the other cheek and let people say and do whatever they want. I guess the pussy in me won't let me do that. Thanks for listening, and my sincere apologies if I've offended anyone. And please know, that was not my intention. I'll try a little harder next time. All right, now here's the original. I'm going to read the original article now. All right. Bach and Sweet previously traded barbs nearly 2 years ago when Sweet claimed he was asked to produce a Bach solo record, only for those plans to be squashed because Sebastian couldn't make up his mind. Sweet said I was approached to do a Sebastian album, to produce it and co-write with him and basically try to go back to those powerful songs from the past. Not make a dated record, but just that style, the anthemy Skid Row stuff that everybody loves. And that was the plan. He continued, management got involved in Sebastian. I emailed back and forth. I was going to go down the track a little ways. All of a sudden, it came to a screeching halt. He decided he wanted to do an acoustic album or wanted to do this or wanted to do that. And I was like, guys, let me know what's going on. And if it's going on, if I never really heard any more about it, I guess it's not happened. I guess that would have been cool or something like that. He also offered a theory as to why so few of Bach's 800,000 Facebook followers purchased the former Skid Row singer's latest solo album, Give 'Em Hell, when it was first released. Sweet told Eddie Trunk, this isn't a bash against Sebastian at all, just my opinion. I think people want to hear Sebastian of old. They want to hear the Skid Row Sebastian. They want to hear the hits, and he's giving them modern rock. Give 'Em Hell's a good album. It's a good sounding album, but it's not the glory days. After a fan wrote on Twitter that the points M. Sweet made about fans wanting old school Bach sounds are accurate, not rude or mean, just true. Bach responded, accurate, fact. No member of Stryper was ever asked to produce any album by Sebastian Bach, ever. Who do you think asked that? Oh my God. Or he actually said OMG. Sweet later took his own All right, enough. You get the idea. They're having a war, okay? And I would like to see the fight between Michael Sweet and Sebastian Bach. I heard Stryper's looking for a bass player. Somebody put in a good word for me. All right. I'm not taking sides. I guess I better go listen to the Eddie Trunk. All right. Enough of that. Did you know that... Let me take a sip of this fine Tecate and get my wits about me. Megadeth is doing a boot camp. And for $5,499, you can go to this boot camp. It's actually for per person single occupancy tent. So if you want to get your own, you can a tent. Go camping with Dave Mustaine. So here's what you get for $5,499, okay? Stay on site in a private furnished bell tent with beds at the Mustaine Estate in Fallbrook, California, Friday through Sunday. So what will happen is Dave Mustaine is going to put a bunch of tents in his backyard. And if you have $549, he's going to put a bed in that tent. All right? If you want to share a tent with a buddy, it's going to cost each of you $2,999. That will be a tent with 2 beds. It includes full bed with mattress and bedding, a wool blanket. It's almost like this is The Onion. It includes a full bed with mattress and bed. Is it? Maybe it is. You get a wool blanket, a throw pillow, you get some lounge chairs, an area rug, a side table, and a battery-operated lantern. Wow. And you get an exclusive welcome gift. They don't tell you what the welcome gift is. It's probably, I don't know. Maybe it's a Megadeth CD or something. You get daily breakfast, lunch, and dinner provided on site at the Mustaine Estate. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner for $5,499. You get access to on-site private shower trailers and VIP restrooms. So you get, all right. So they're going to bring in a trailer with running water for showers and a porta potty. You get access to workshops and activities of your choice throughout the weekend. You get access to intimate acoustic performance by Megadeth. You get preferred seating to campfire stories with Megadeth. So they're going to have a campfire every night, and they're going to tell stories. Okay, that's kind of nice. You get priority access to off-site wine tasting with Dave Mustaine, approximately 45 minutes away. So you get to follow him 45 minutes away to a winery and do some wine tasting. All right. You get access to gardens and rock and roll library on site throughout the week. Wait a minute, where I lost it here. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, access to gardens and rock and roll library on site throughout the weekend. So rock and roll library, I guess he's got some books, and you get to walk around in his garden. On site paparazzi to capture all. I'm starting to get pissed off at myself for not being able to read, man. On-site paparazzi to capture all your unforgettable moments. So somebody's going to take pictures with your iPhone. Commemorative Megadeth boot camp laminate. That's what you get for $6,000 or for $5,499. Who's in? If anybody goes, can you please send me some pictures and do a show review of the Dave Mustaine boot camp? That would be just amazing if you could, okay? All right. Should I play another song, or should we just get the hell out of here, quit while we're ahead? We're 39 minutes into this. Oh, I want to say rest in peace to Bob Coburn. There was a show called Rockline. I don't know if you ever listened to it, but it was a syndicated radio show. I remember listening to it back in like 80 something. The first time I heard it, I think probably maybe Joan Jett was on it. It used to come on in Jacksonville, Florida. It would come on Monday and Thursday nights or something like that. Apparently they had it on Monday nights because most musicians didn't have gigs on Monday. But he would interview musicians, all right? They would come down to the studio usually, and people would call in with questions and stuff. It was a good show. And this guy, Bob Coburn, hosted the show, and he recently died. He had like stage 5 cancer or something like that. And my web browser is crashed, so I can't really read it. But he had, okay, here we go. I'm not going to try reading this. But he was surrounded by family after a long battle with lung cancer. He had like stage 4 lung cancer. 68 years old. Way too young to die. Too young to die, yes. But anyway, rest in peace, Bob Coburn. And it was a good show. The show ended in like 2010 or 14 or something like that. All right. Let's play another song. Should I play another song and just get the hell out of here while I'm... Tim Smith. Let's hear a little bit of the new Rolling Stones. Tim Smith asked if what I thought of the new Rolling Stones. It's a blues album, by the way. It's called Blue and Lonesome. Let's hear just a little bit of it because I'm not really that big of a... I like blues, but I don't really want to play it on the show. A little bit of brand new Rolling Stones. There you go. I like it. It's good. You know who's playing? Mick. What's the singer for Stones' name? Mick Jagger plays the harmonica on it. He's not a bad harmonica player, actually. All right, here's an email from... Who is this email from? Oh, anonymous email. This is from Anonymous. I can't say this person's name. Hey, Michael, thanks for sticking with it for over 700 episodes. I really appreciate it. Well, thank you, friend. I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me. My name's Michael Butler. I really appreciate it. All right. I'm back to working full-time with a more stable position, so hopefully I can get back to contributing a few bucks to the show in the near future. When I do spend some money, please don't mention it on the show. I know you appreciate it and try to... And Reading with Butler. I know you appreciate it, and I try to keep myself as invisible as possible on the web. Long story, don't ask. Ooh. I have a feeling that there's a girl involved with that long story. First, let me tell you a few things about the show that I really love. My absolute favorite is your list of top albums of the year. It's one of the reasons I decided to write this email. There's really nobody I know of whose musical tastes are closer to my own than yours. You've also introduced me to more great bands than anyone else over the past 5 years, and thank you for that. I also really enjoy your interviews. You generally have really interesting guests and ask smart questions. By the way, the last interview I just posted, I'm doing a new series called Lost Interviews because most of the interviews, if you go look for them at rockandrollgeek.com, they don't play because they're all on the Pod Show server. So I'm gradually bringing them, looking for the original files and re-uploading them and posting them as a new episode, so you can go back and listen. ZACK URLOCKER, Mark URLOCKER wants to hear the Donovan and Bob Ezrin. So I will probably post the Donovan pretty soon. So anyway, where am I here? Oh, I know this isn't... You generally have really interesting guests and ask smart questions. I know this isn't easy to do, but usually a real fan of the artist you interview, so you have a backlog of trivia and interesting questions to ask. I also love it when you used to showcase a band that had only one great album. Yeah, I need to bring that back. These are usually records. So if you know of a band that only put out one record, but it was a great record, send me your suggestions, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. These are usually records that many of your listeners haven't heard before. This is often an interesting show, and I wish it was more of a regular feature. Here's an album suggestion for you. Are you familiar with the band Stepmothers? They made a great album in 1981 called You Were Never My Age. I can send it to you if you've never heard it. Yeah, please send it to me because that would just be wrong. I would like to hear it. Is that, was C.C. DeVille in the Stepmothers? Maybe he was. They made a great album in 1981 called You Were Never My Age. I can send it to you if you've never heard it. Either way, it's probably something that should be in your collection. I'll send it because it would just be wrong, and that's just how I roll. Also, Kill Cheerleader's All Hail album is solid and rocking from top to bottom. I think I might have Kill Cheerleader. I also really enjoy the vinyl pick of the week and douchebag clips of the week. Did I play the one with Nikki Sixx talking about not washing his hands? I think I did. Yeah, that's a good one. Off the top of my head, or wait a minute, where am I? I'm not a huge fan of the show reviews where the sound quality is really bad, or if we have already heard 3 or more reviews from the same tour. Look, I love Cheap Trick more than most people and have seen them since In Color first came out, but most of these reviews are pretty much the same. Cheap Trick always kicks ass. The only thing that saves this repetitive reviews is your amazing singing. Well, off the top of my head, here are a couple of albums you might want to consider for the best of the year list. Okay, let's hear his picks for the top albums of 2016. Take a sip of this fine Tecate. I know a few that we both agree are really good. Wild Stab by the I Don't Cares, for example, is a great album and was probably played at my house more than any other record this year. Whitford St. Holmes Reunion deserves to be in everyone's top 10 for the amazing guitar tones alone. I know you like both of those albums as much as I do. Yeah, so far we're probably both going to have those in our list. Here's an artist that I like a lot that I've never heard you mention, so maybe you don't like him. Personally, I think Butch Walker is an amazing talent, but I could see where he may have turned off a lot of rock fans during his 30-year career. He has melodies, hooks, lyrics, and guitar chops as good as anyone out there. Yeah, his earlier self-produced albums were so over-the-top production-wise that it sometimes get in the way of some pretty outstanding songwriting. He also dropped the more metal sounding stuff for more of a singer-songwriter style, and this probably alienated some of his hard rock fans. However, his 2016 release Stay Gold is truly terrific, and his live show supporting the album was probably the best show I'd seen all year. This is a pretty big statement considering I saw Airborne the same week as Butch Walker, and Airborne is always amazing. Billy Rowe, my friend and guitar player for the Butlers, is a huge Butch Walker fan. He saw him on that tour as well and said it was fantastic. Do I have that Butch Walker? Let me see if I can find this. No, I do not have it. So don't send me that either, Anonymous, because that would just be wrong as well. Yeah, I heard it's a good record. I would like to. I'm going to have to look for it. If you'd like me to send you this record or any more of his stuff, I'm happy to oblige. Butch Walker actually had Alice Cooper dancing to his songs in the back room of in L.A. No lie. There's also a terrific documentary you can see on Amazon Prime called Out of Focus. All right, I will look for that since I have Amazon Prime. All right, I have some real work to do before I can leave the office for the day, so I should get back to it. Oh, before I forget, I remember a long time ago you mentioned something about not going in for a colonoscopy. Dude, this could be a huge mistake. Colon cancer is probably the easiest cancer to avoid because it grows so slowly. If you get the routine 5-year colonoscopy every 5 years, you'll likely never get colon cancer because any cancerous, pardon me, I'm bourbon this fine Tecate. Any cancerous cells that are found during the scoping procedure are removed right then. Not getting this checked is dangerous since the result will be shitting in a bag for the rest of your life. Without your donations, friends, this show will die a horrible, putrid, shitting in a bag, stench-filled death. All right? Colonoscopy. I lost my place. Trying to be cute, I lost my place. The procedure is nothing. The big deal is the drugs. The drugs really knock you out, and I was groggy for nearly 2 entire days. Just do it, bro. The peace of mind alone is worth it. Yeah, I need to schedule a colonoscopy. I really do. P.S. You're welcome to read any of this email on the show, but just don't include my name. Yes, it's a long story. Don't ask. Okay, I won't ask. Oh, crap. I almost forgot. You can totally improve the Rock and Roll Geek scoring system. Next time you review an album, try both systems at the same time. All right, here's his Rock and Roll Geek scoring system. I can't figure this thing out for the life of me. All right. Yeah, you can make both scoring systems give the same result if you only give the songs a 0, 5, 10, and 1. Wait a minute. What? All right. Next time, give every song a rating between 1 and 10. At the same time, you're giving them a 0, half, or a 1. Yeah, you can make both scoring systems give the same result. I guess he means if I like a song, if it's okay, I can give it a 2. or a 3 or a 4 instead of just a half. Yeah, you can make both scoring systems give the same result if you only give songs a 0, 5, 10 in one system and a 0, half, and 1 on the other, but that really defeats the purpose. When you're finished, add up all the number and then divide by the number of songs. I think some of the albums you'll see a pretty big difference. That sounds really confusing, Anonymous. I think I'm just going to keep it the way I've been doing it. With I like it, I give it a 1. If I don't like it, I give it a half or a 0 or a half. Okay, I'm going to keep it that way, but because I can't figure out which one you're talking about. Song 1 scores 7, song 1 half, song 1 scores 7, song 1 half. I don't get it. I just don't get it, Anonymous. All right. I'm going to end the show on that confusing note. All right. And I'm going to end with a request since Christmas is coming up. Hopefully I'll do another show before Christmas. I think I'm planning on it. But Jason Shepard, friend of the show, asked me to play this song for you, so I'm going to play the song that was written by your friend and mine. Well, he's not really my friend, but he's your friend. His name is Michael Butler. That would be me. Song written by me, my old band, the Flexapleasers, and this song was also recorded by American Heartbreak. This is a Christmas tune, and I'm singing on this. Listening back to this, I don't really like the vocals because I'm a little too pissed off, and the production's not great, but you will get the idea. This song is called The Greatest Christmas Song Ever Written. This is by my old band, the Flexapleasers, with me singing. Thank you for listening, friends. I'm sorry this show is a complete mess, but that's just the way it goes. By the way, I'm going kayaking super early tomorrow morning, crabbing. I'm leaving at 5:30 in the morning. I'm going to hopefully be on the water by 7, and I'm going to have my new wetsuit. Thank you, Chiaki. You can find this show at rockandrollgeek.com. You can send me an email, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. I need some show reviews, please. Area code 706-621-ROCK. That's area code 706-621-7625. Even though Anonymous doesn't like the show reviews, I like hearing your show reviews. I better get out of here before I lose my voice. You know how to reach me, friends. rockandrollgeek.com, area code 706-621-ROCK. Find me on the Facebook, R&R-Geek. Find me on the Instagram, Rock and Roll Geek, Don't Ask. Find me on the Twitter, Rock R&R-Geek. I'm shutting the hell up. We'll talk to you very soon.
Do you remember burning down my Christmas tree?
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.